Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 2, where it seems in Disney Castle with a cornerstone of light, a mysterious portal has appeared. And that's why Chippy and Nay decided to fucking warn us about it, so we could then investigate, and if you're wondering what this leads to, it is our final super boss. Although, why it appears in the cornerstone of light in Disney Castle, I have to wonder why. I mean, to kind of spoil a little bit of Birth by Sleep, the character we're going to be meeting here has been to Disney Castle before in times long since past, but, well, is that meant to imply that he won the Million Dreams Award here? Again, more information than Birth by Sleep, but, I think it does inform a certain attribute about how I'm going to be playing that game, so, yeah, we'll keep that in mind for now. But yeah, enter the portal, and this will take us to a place that Birth by Sleep will call the Badlands. Or it goes by another name, the Keyblade Graveyard Boy. But I'll let you enjoy the cutscene for yourself. Oh yeah, baby, lingering will time. Let me at him. Let me at him. I'm gonna kick his ass so... Oh, shit. Well then. Onwards and upwards. But yes, this is the Lingering Will, our last super boss, and, well again, he's called the Lingering Will, but I prefer to call him by another name, the Forgotten Soldier, which I believe was one of the, nicknames that was given to him during the... Like, you know, when the only scraps of footage we saw of this guy was, you know, Japanese clips posted of the Kingdom Hearts final mix in Japan. So, yeah. To get into the boss tactics, yeah, I'm not the best Kingdom Hearts 2 player around, but, yeah, the Lingering Will pretty much hand you an ass buffet, no matter how skilled you are, unless, of course, you're, well, a freak, or insane. To discuss his battle tactics, again, you only have one opportunity to really deal damage on this guy, and that is either right after he's done an attack, or that brief little window, again, when he does a complete attack, then starts descending. Again, my attacks that I recommend using is lightning, because of the fact that it's instantaneous, and doesn't really require a lot of work on the player's part. The second thing I recommend is, well, not using Genie, because, again, unless of course you get him while he's in that falling animation, the brief window that you have to actually hit him, yeah, you're not doing any damage. Try to hit the Lingering Will any other time, especially when he's doing an attack like this, and it pretty much does fuck all to him. So again, you really need to pick your moments succinctly and let him have it. Of course, if that was the only trick he had up his sleeve, well, you'd be shit out of luck, because much in the same vein as Xemnas in Kingdom Hearts 1, yeah, he can lock your commands, meaning that you basically have to unlock them by hitting the right button and or, well... There is a second variant of that, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Again, as you're seeing there, we also play Pinball with his, giant fuck-off Buster Cannon attack, which, yeah, not very good. Again, as I'm saying beforehand, once he finishes an attack, or, you know, is slowly lowering to the ground, that's your opportunity to hit him, but you can only hit him during that window, because again, as you saw there, our initial attack with, you know, launching a goofy bombardier, again, it works nicely, but again, with the load-up, it took a little bit too much time for him to attack, and then that, you know, what's meant to be the crescendo of Goofy's attack pretty much just phased right through him, so... Yeah, sadly, again, I would call the Lingering Will a difficult but fair challenge, but the one bullshit aspect is the same bullshit aspect that you fought in Kingdom Hearts 1 against Xemnas. Namely, the fact that he can just sort of lock your commands whenever you feel like, without you really being able to do much. And again, much in the same vein as Xemnas' attack, again, it gradually drains away your health, and again, if you try to resist but hit the wrong command, again, escape or fall, you escape obviously, hit fall, and you're pretty much fucked. Yeah, it'll do additional damage to the draining health that it already does to you. So, yeah, that's like one of two rather bullshit attacks. The second variant of it is, again, where he also locks your commands, but he locks your... I think it's your physical attacks. So again, you can only attack him with magic, so again, if you don't focus on MP, you're pretty much fucked and either have to rely on summons, such as Peter Pan here, who I will say is actually the best summon to have in this battle, because holy fuck, as you're going to be seeing, he saved my bacon, so anything negative I said about Peter Pan in Chain of Memories Kingdom Hearts 1, I take back. Peter Pan, you're the boy who never grew up, but by God, you're the boy that is the man now, dog. But yeah, there are a lot of specific attacks, and again, I will admit I am a little bit loosey-goosey, but I do try my best to, again, predict his attack patterns. Again, I fought this boss 10 times before I got, you know, at least somewhat savvy about predicting his attacks, but again, he'll use his Keyblade to transform into a Keyblade glider and try and ram you down. Again, as I did successfully before, but wasn't doing successfully there, was again, basically just standing on the ground, blocking him, and, you know, just waiting until he gets into his, you know, drop-down phase, when you can lay the smack down. But yeah, again, apart from locking your commands, I do think this is, honestly, one of the highlights of Super Bosses. It's difficult, but at the same time, like, I mean, again, if you practice, you know, blocking his attacks and learning his attack patterns, you can do some pretty good stuff, except for when that comes and does a bit of a fucking reach around. Ugh. But yeah, he will gradually go for some of the more bullshit attacks, you know, as you whittle down his health. I mean, you've pretty much seen most of his attack phases there. Like, I mean, again, he has a retaliation attack, he has this little bow and arrow thing, his giant fuck you cannon attack, so... yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote in terms of strategy. I'd say, like, again, like, the only thing you'd really have to watch out for is, again, when he locks your commands, because he does it without warning, and, again, like, there's not really much of a fair way to really get out of it, so... again, that's the only negative I really have to bring up. Apart from that, like, I mean, it's all up to your own skill and volition to just learn his attack patterns, outwit him, and although he does hit hard, again, if you're able to counter him, again, like, it's very much, you know, the ancient old swordsman, knowledgeable with a lot of techniques, you know, testing the young one, in typical, you know, old samurai fashion. And again, Sora, being the new blood of this Keyblade stuff, just proving him wrong. Which I suppose, now that I've dealt with boss tactics, I might as well get into story context. Yeah, he knows somebody named Aqua and Ven, or Ventus, as we will later know what his name is called, and we did see very briefly in a 358 over 2 days. Then there's also the idea that he passed the Keyblade on to somebody else, so yes. It seems our forgotten soldier knows one of Sora's friends. Which, I mean, again, having played Kingdom Hearts 2 Vanilla back in, you know, 2006, where it was at last released in Australia after a long fucking wait. Yeah, I only really knew about Final Mix, again, like a lot of people did at the time, through Japanese cutscenes, and again, I was initially thinking, like, back then that, you know, the reason why Kairi had a Keyblade, which went completely unexplained, and again, I found just as bullshit back then as I did now, is that because, again, I thought that perhaps, you know, whoever the Lingering Will used to be, gave Kairi a Keyblade, and... you know, part of that did come true in Birth by Sleep, but, wrong character. So, again, the only process of elimination, since he doesn't recognize Sora, is that he gave the Keyblade to Riku, which is there to explain, you know, why Riku was the Keyblade's chosen in Kingdom Hearts 1, rather than just random fuck-off fate, as was the implication of, well, the original game. So again, it's, well, again, I mean, if it says anything about Birth by Sleep, it does delve into a bit of canon welding, but again, like, the stuff regarding the Keyblades I find it to be a little bit more acceptable, because the series as a whole does continue to build up and focus upon the Keyblades, so again, I don't find that sort of retcon to be as sort of egregious as some of the ones that would come a bit later in the series, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is, really. And as for the Forgotten Soldier himself, well, we'll get into his character in a little bit, but there is a lot of pathos behind him. He obviously seems to have a history with Xehanort, who at this point in the series is just a scientist guy who lost his memory. But again, you'll see all that in the Ansem reports, and yeah, seems there's more to the story than we know. But it all revolves around an old bald guy that Tetsuya Nomura fell in love with, and would soon have a passionate romance with, in terms of basically making the games onward from this point revolve around Xehanort, Xehanort, Xenogears, Heartless, whatever. So, in any case, yeah, the one summon I recommend bringing out a lot, as I mentioned beforehand, is Peter Pan. And again, specifically because, again, when he attacks enemies, they drop HP balls, which again saves you having to constantly use, you know, any Mega Elixirs, or, you know, any sort of cure spells that completely drain your MP. And again, you know, when the Lingering Will is dropping down into his, you know, idle state, state of grace, I guess. Yeah, that's usually when Peter Pan can do a bit of damage, and Journey's End does actually put a bit of work in terms of at least dealing some damage to the boss. Yeah, the one command-locking attack, you know, where he does it in a circle, and you see, again, either the dark red or the dark blue. Yeah, that'll either lock your attacks or commands, so again, you either have to rely on magic to completely dispel the illusion, or, well, physical attacks. Physical attacks is more or less fine, unless you're hurting for health, but magic attacks is, well, bullshit, because again, if you didn't focus on a purely MP sort of build, well, again, sucks to be you. I suppose you could use the accessories to necessitate a more magical build, but again, when you have, like, you know, gear and you know, stuff that's more suited towards, again, your preferred playstyle, you're a bit hesitant to take it off. So, yeah, that's a bit of a pisser. And I do apologize if I'm kind of stumbling on calling the Lingering Will or the Forgotten Soldier, you know, by their specific names. Again, I'm trying to, you know, not spoil anything because, well, again, I know what this dude's real name is, but again, it's so easy to call it that, but, oof, Jesus. Again, I keep on flipping between Birth by Sleep and this, so, yeah. That's why I'm kind of calling him the Forgotten Soldier, because it's easier for me to call him that without accidentally slipping and calling him, Final Fantasy VI reference. But yeah, this is when he unlocks your attacks, so, yeah, you need to rely on either your summons or magic, which, again, actually does come with quite great usage at it, actually, especially if you have Peter Pan, because, again, you can use Neverland to, again, pip him down, and then, well, once your MP is recharged, basically just give him the 1, 2, 3, fuck you with your magic attacks, and, should be good. Well, provided that he's idle. I mean, again, when he's in your no, you can't hit me state, where attacks no matter what completely phase through, then, well, I really don't know what to say. But as you saw beforehand, you know, with all the gears and, you know, yeah, that attack right there, actually. Yeah, that is the, basically his limit break / the fuck you attack. And, yeah, that's the one you gotta watch out for, and that is also the one that I thought did me in. But then I was saved by a fairy boy from Neverland and the rhythm Captain Hook. I fucking hate that song, by the way. One of my co-workers plays it so much constantly I want to rip her throat out and eat her babies. Wow, that got a little bit darker than expected, but anyway. On to more important matters. Yeah. Actually, I don't have anything. I just wanted to awkwardly transition away. The point is, Peter Pan is helpful, and, yeah, he's pretty much your saving grace here. Both of, because of what I mentioned before, but another reason is because of, well, something that I think you'll see in a little bit, actually. Because, yeah, my attacks are locked, and I don't really have much, is it here or is it a little bit later? I may be misremembering. No, it's a bit later, actually, because I can... looking at my editor timeline, I actually found the dip in audio, which indicates death. But unlike before, I will not die this time. But yeah, Donald and Goofy, again, unless you're using your limit breaks with them, don't really add much to the battle, if anything. I mean, I will admit, it does partially make me miss MP Gift, which Goofy had in Kingdom Hearts 1, where he gave you set amounts of MP, you know, at the cost of his own, but at the same time, I guess I couldn't find a way to work it within Kingdom Hearts 2's differing magic system, and again, I understand why it was done, you know, to prevent people from spanning, you know, Curaga or whatever, but at the same time, though, I don't know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, and, ooh, yes, MP and HP balls. Buddy boy, we're eating tonight. No! No, I'm kicking your ass, I can't believe it. But yeah. I mean, I will say that, like, I mean, in terms of all the super bosses that I have completed, this is the one that I'm most proud of. I suppose for getting at least a semi-decent take, at least by my standards. I mean, again, I'm not perfect, and I do get pipped more than I should, but at the same time, though, as a result of, you know, learning attack patterns, you know, and, you know, really mastering the boss fight, I should say, I don't know. I'm proud of what I was able to beat, and now the only super boss I have left on my plate is the one in Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, well, I suppose technically we do have multiple ones in Birth by Sleep, such as No Heart, Ericus' armor, and stuff like that, but quite frankly, I cannot be fucked, because I hate Birth by Sleep, and it caused me to die, so it's all over. Or is it? Tinkerbell has given us the kiss of life, and thank you, you lovely fairy girl, we're back! We're sexy, we're hot, and ready to kick some ass. Yes indeed, that is the secondary ability of Peter Pan's summon. I believe it is also applicable in the first game as well if you have Tinkerbell on hand, because, yeah, you get auto life. And, I honest to God thought I was fucked there, like I put down the controller for a second because I was so shocked that I died again, but no, I was back in the action, I can't even begin to describe how elated I felt. I was like, wait a minute, I'm still in the fight, I'm back! I mean, I guess much in the same vein as Sora, I got a second wind, and that was exciting. But again, it pretty much gave me everything that I needed to, well, again, just get back in the fight and, well, win. I mean, again, this fight is pretty much the length of what a regular part would be, and, yeah. Truly, this is indeed the, ultimate enemy battle anime storyline. Yes, indeed, Solidus-Skully, top 10 anime stories, go now. Oh yeah, he also has those, similar, like, fucking floating droid lasers that Xemnas had, and, Again, if he didn't have those fucking command-locking abilities, this boss fight would be fair, but then again, Kingdom Hearts 3 does also have a similar sort of thing, not necessarily in the same of locking your commands, but, well, again, you remember how Tinkerbell revived me from the dead one last time? Yeah, well, the super boss in Kingdom Hearts 3, if you make it all the way to, Quadratum, well, he pretty much takes your insurance policy, so, you either beat it in that one life, or you're fucked. But anyway, this isn't about Kingdom Hearts 3, we've nearly defeated the Lingering Will, and we have finally tested our might. But yeah, I probably should have, well, again, looking back with the benefit of hindsight, I probably should have learned how to at least predict how many hits I can get per combo, you know, so that I can pretty much avoid, you know, the Lingering Will's retaliation attack, where he just basically gets his Keyblade whip and goes, get away from me. Yeah, but oh well. Thoughts for the future, really. Oh, and by the way, I suppose I should mention this before we run out of time completely here, but yeah, if you're wondering if the Lingering Will, as we control him in Birth by Sleep, is anywhere near this fluid, you are sorely mistaken, because he is sluggish as fuck. But alas, we have finally won, so let's see our victory. And for our reward for beating the Lingering Will, we get, well, the Proof of Connection. Again, basically this is also to do with the different crowns Sora gets in the game, of which there are 3. I believe by completing the journal 100%, doing everything in the game, you get the Gold Crown, obviously. Doing Mushroom 13, I think, nets you the Silver Crown, and defeating the Lingering Will, as you see, well, here obviously, well, once we get back to Sora's model in the gameplay, yeah, that gets you the Bronze Crown. So, yeah. That's pretty much your reward for beating the Lingering Will, alongside getting the secret ending of, well, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Yeah, we don't learn anything about this guy specifically, but, again, the next game we're covering is Birth by Sleep, so you'll see everything about him then. So, stay tuned. And there's his model, in full glory, with a lovely cape. And he looks like Batman. Yes, indeed, Batman is finally in Kingdom Hearts. Bam. But yeah, we'll also be seeing the Lingering Will one last time in the game as we, well, finish the game, and, with that said, apart from, well, the Ansem reports that, by this point you should have already seen, that's pretty much all the side content that I pretty much have to get done, so, Yes, indeedy. All our abilities are in place, and next time on the Kingdom Hearts 2 commentary, yeah, we're finishing off the game. Xemnas, we're coming to collect our rent, and, yeah, we're putting an end to this saga for good. By which I mean until 358 over 2 days, Coded, Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 4, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, Dark Road, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, and a myriad of other side games. Catch you dudes and dudettes next time. Bye-bye.